So yesterday was my 64th birthday, and I was mentioned in a post on Facebook by my sister. And my sister and I have come a very long way in terms of our each personal journey, spiritual journey, the hero's journey, if you will. And we will at some point be doing a conversation about our childhood and our awakening to spirit and to the truth of who we are and the different paths that we took to get there. And, but I wish to share because this is really not just close to my heart, but I think important for all of us. So I'm going to share her post. And then also, she actually gave a link to a post that is freely available on Facebook by J. Mike Fields. And I will be putting a link to that post in the show more section of this video. So first, my sister's post. The hero's journey, most certainly not for the faint of heart, and so magically interesting how even if you have no idea what it is, when you're going through it, once you do see it, you see it everywhere in books, movies, songs, religions. How very beautiful that seemingly magically the divine is consistently pointing us toward our own integration / wholeness through all of these things and especially through one another. Sheila Karuna. This is an extraordinary example of just that. And like I said, she gave the link to his page and this post in particular, and I will be placing that same link in the show more section here, as his page is public, and I would encourage you to go and follow him. I love the way he writes about this. Uh, First, the page it says number 1, the feminine descent. Belle begins, as every woman does, in the first act of individuation, the call beyond the village. Her, quote, provincial life symbolizes the habitual persona, light, intelligent, but contained. The village is consciousness, narrow, safe, and defined by repetition. Yet the soul whispers for more. She sings of adventure in the great wide somewhere, not realizing that this longing is not for a man, but for the unknown within herself. The beast, dark, wild, and untamed, is the shadowed Animus, the masculine soul image buried in the unconscious of the woman. Buried in the, I just read that. Buried in the unconscious of the woman. He represents what society taught her to fear: passion, aggression, autonomy, will, and instinct. To love him, she must confront the buried masculine that her condition has condemned, her conditioning has condemned. Here we go. It continues on in the comments, so I encourage you to look further. Number 2, the shadowed Animus. At first, Belle sees the beast as monstrous, just as all women initially perceive their disowned inner masculine. He is the part of her that feels too much, demands too much, and cannot be tamed by niceties. Her revulsion is projection. She sees outside what he refuses. She sees outside what she refuses inside. Every scream, every roar is the voice of her repressed instinct. The castle itself, decayed yet enchanted, mirrors the inner psychic terrain of a woman who has intellect but not yet integration. The living furniture and flickering candles are the fractured sub-personalities of her psyche, each animated but uncoordinated, waiting for union. Number 3, the dance of integration. When she begins to see his eyes, not his fangs, she starts the sacred work, humanizing the instinct. Her compassion awakens the heart, Eros, and in the archetypal dance, Eros softens logos, feeling tempers reason, heart heals mind. This is not the woman submitting to a man. It is the feminine soul reuniting with her own inner masculine. A reconciliation of softness and a strength, intuition, and will, receptivity and assertion. The moment she chooses to stay, not out of fear, but of empathy, the transformation begins. She no longer fears her own fire. Number 4, the death of the false Animus. Gaston, the shadow hero, represents the collective Animus, the false masculine, shaped by culture's ideals, dominance without depth, pursuit without purpose. He is charming yet hollow, mirroring the external voices that promise safety through conformity. By rejecting Gaston, Belle refuses to live through the projections of men and through the social script of what, quote, a good woman should want. This rejection is crucial. It is the death of the collective animus so that the authentic animus may rise. Number 5, the alchemy of love. When she returns to the beast, now wounded, dying, she descends into the final alchemical stage. The masculine dies, not as punishment, but as initiation. Her tears, the water of the feminine, baptize him back into wholeness. It is through her seeing that he becomes human. But it is through him that she becomes whole. This is conjunctio oppositorum, the sacred union of opposites. The beast becomes man, the woman becomes self. Number 6, the integrated woman. The story ends not with domination, but with recognition. The restored castle symbolizes the psyche reborn after inner union. The outer romance mirrors the inner integration. Belle has united her intellect with instinct, her compassion with courage, her beauty with the beast within. For the awakened woman, the beast is no longer the enemy. He is her fire. He is the pulse that gives her heart direction. To love him is to reclaim her own sovereignty. Tale as old as time, true as it can be, barely even friends, then somebody bends unexpectedly. Just a little change, small to say the least. Wow, I feel like I want to cry. Both a little sacred, neither one prepared. Beauty and the Beast. Ever just the same, ever a surprise, ever as before, ever just as sure as the sun will rise. Tale as old as time, tune as old as song, bittersweet and strange, finding you can change, learning you were wrong, certain as the sun, rising in the east, tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, Beauty and the Beast. Well, you know what? The truth of it is now, oh, there's a note here too. I knew I was to record this, so I didn't I didn't read it all the way through, so I wasn't prepared to actually cry. I mean, I know the story of Beauty and the Beast, but I never saw it in quite this way before. It says, note, the anima and animus aren't always about the DNA or biology of the person. They're energies of the soul. Every person carries both, and that is true. There's a part of me that wonders if that's not part of the confusion or manipulation also causing the confusion regarding the whole thing about gender. Because in terms of integration, we've all been programmed and conditioned in various and sundry ways. And through the traumas that we've had due to that programming and conditioning, different facets of us become wounded in different ways. Every person carries both, the one that moves and the one that receives. Integration is the same work for all of us, no matter who we love. And he goes on here to say, would you like me to do further analysis on other archetypal Disney movies? Most are only archetypical in the 90s, just for your information. And Mike, yeah, Mike Fields, yes, I would love that. And I would say to all of you that for me personally, now once you know about the hero's journey, my sister is correct. It is everywhere we look. And it is part of what I feel for me helps lead us to that inner shadow work. When I first started on this journey, I didn't quite grasp what going within and doing the shadow work actually meant. I now really understand it in such a way that I can speak on it a little better, but not much. I do know that it has to do with meeting, my sister uses this terminology, meeting the monster within. And the truth is, we all carry these shadows, these monster parts of ourselves that when we are not doing that work within, we tend to project onto others in our life. Anytime we are pointing the finger out there at somebody else, most specifically if we are triggered by something that another person says or does, it is in a lot of ways a projection of a part of self that is begging to be examined, understood, and integrated into wholeness. Understood by self, not by someone else, which is, I feel, how we all got the wrong idea about looking for our other half. How a lot still in the light worker community, when they speak on twin flames, has been hijacked, manipulated into something it is not. For me, this is how I see it. Doesn't mean I'm right. It means that's where I am in my psyche at this moment. And each one of you will always be in different places in your psyche as well. And it doesn't make you wrong, and it doesn't make you late. It makes you where you are. I guess that's it for this one. I hope you're having a wonderful, beautiful day. And if you feel like I might have some answers for you, reach out. Conscious Conversation Central at gmail.com. I love you so very much. Until we meet again, move towards that which draws you, that which piques your interest. There's something there for you. Be well, my friends.